Oh Lord, we got Christmas socks up in here. That's what I'm talking about,
Merry
bro.
Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. Well guys, we are about to lift this car up in the air. We're really excited about our safety stands came in, and we're about to put it up so we can start putting our templates in to, well, start putting our floorboards in. So let's push a button and lift this thing up.
How you feel sitting underneath your car, boo?
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's weird, but it's cool at the same time. I'm gonna finally start moving ahead on these floorboards. Really excited about this. We're gonna start making some templates and then start throwing some sparks. What do you think about it, Jesse?
Dude, all this work, all the hard work's gone.
How far work's going? I know, right?
I got tired of that fancy carpet.
That fancy carpet was on. We're getting there.
Okay guys, so here's what we have come up with. This is our body mounting system we now have. Basically what I did was I took some angle iron and I put it in our radius bender, and I put this bend on it right here. So now when it's up in there, we've kind of got this nice looking radius right here to kind of blend everything in, and all of our panels will just kind of go right in to there, and it'll look pretty good. But we had to come up with this and kind of backtrack there for a minute. I know you guys saw that we had these panels in here, and they worked okay and they held the body up and everything, but the problem was we were having a hard time figuring out how we were going to get our cardboard templates to line up where we wanted, and thus in the end our sheet metal. So now that we have this system, it's going to be really clean. It also seals off the rocker to the chassis, so now all that's sealed up. We don't have to make a spare extra panel right in here, and that kind of knocked out two birds with one stone. Now we still have this nasty area here, but we're going to sand and clean on that some to see how clean we can get that and kind of go from there, because I think with some paint or like some undercoating, this little section here will clean up nice and won't have no problem. But excuse me, we welded in some stiffening pads back behind this, and we just used some plates like this right here, drilled a hole in the center of it, welded a nut on the back side of it, and where it's got these holes right here, you can use Clecos like what you guys have seen us use in the past, this right here, to kind of hold it up there until we can figure out where it needs to be, tack it in place, take this plate back off, and then weld it all up and then put this on there. It's kind of a complex system there, and I just didn't want to, there was a ton of hours in it, and I had to get moved past that so we can start doing the cardboard templates. And here we go, so you guys can start to see what we've got going on there, and you can also see right here how clean this is. So it'll just have a nice transition. We got a nice welding surface right there, and this is going to look really nice. So the end goal here, how's this going to kind of work? Well, by NHRA rules, the driver's side has to be welded in, meaning the floor pans has to be welded in. So we kind of have two things we've got to do. We've got to make sure all my feet are covered up by areas that's welded in and underneath my seat. So we kind of have a really weird panel here that's going to have to be welded in as well, and right here too. So kind of got some funky panels to make. I really do like this transition right here though, so it's really nice. So if we ever want to put mufflers up underneath the car, we have a very nice cleared out area to do that. So we got options down the road. We're going to start cutting out some metal here for these, and show you guys those steps, and we're gonna rock and roll here. Guys, we are finally making floor pans. We had to make a test piece first, and of course it did not fit nowhere as near the way we wanted it to. But that's this one right here. Tested it out. Worked in some areas, didn't work in others, so now we're making another one, make our corrections, and we keep on rocking here. A lot of times I like using these fatter markers for our bead rolls because you can see them better when you go to bead roll it versus as using the skinny marker. I like using the skinny markers for cut lines. Kind of seems to be working pretty good. Alright, go ahead, Han. You got it, keep going. Boom, look at you.
I just had to pull this a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I cut it myself.
Alright. Alright guys, we're making that first floor pan piece. Show you guys a little trick learned on this thing. Need to bend a little edge over instead of hammering it over. You just kind of, let me see this real quick, Han. Just kind of.
There you go. There you go. You got it.
Right there.
Alright, pretty good.
Yep.
You getting it?
Boom, we're just folding that edge right on over.
Pretty smooth.
Then we'll take it over in English wheel. Just like that. Alright, go ahead and cut it, Jesse. Okay guys, well you just saw us use the pan brake there to bend the edge on over. Now we're going to put English wheel. We got a flat wheel on both sides. We're just going to run it back and forth through here to get all these rough little waves bent down and flat. And we're just going to start rolling it out here. Just roll it back and forth like this. We got all the high spots knocked down everywhere, then we'll tighten it down some. lot better. A lot better. Okay guys, so here we got both our bead rolls in. That'll stick here at 10 minutes and fold it right on over there, and you guys can just kind of see what we got going on there. Rocking and rolling. Alright, Jesse, let's go on over here and put some bending on. Got our handy dandy radius finder here. See how much of a radius we need. Pretty daggone close. Need a little bit more. Much better. Just take it over there and see what it looks like. Pretty good, man.
It's going on about like the last one, ain't it?
Yeah, it's going on pretty good. Things fitting where we want to fit. We just got notches one end up here. And we'll be in good shape.
Is that it? There we go.
Okay guys, we now have our stiffeners just kind of tacked up in there, and again, these are floorboard stiffeners. All this is so when the driver's side is welded in and bolted in, we don't have to worry about the panels rattling real bad or the panels slowly getting pushed down and pulling the welds out. So it's kind of a double strength area. So if a lot of you are asking, well, why are you just welding it in and bolting it in? By NHRA rules, the driver's side has to be welded in. This is just an extra, just to keep from the panel from coming out a couple of years down the road. So it's just kind of some basic. Okay guys, boom, there you go. You can kind of start seeing what we've got going on here, and this thing is looking really wizard. Right now we just kind of got it held up with some Clecos, and that's kind of what you see sticking out of the panels. These will be welded in, and what we'll do is we will weld 1 inch, skip 2 inches, weld 1 inch all the way across, backside, all the way around each panel, and that's going to take some time right there. But it'll also have some button head bolts sticking through. You guys saw our stiffeners that we're putting in, and it's looking pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys through here, and then you guys can look down and kind of see what we got going on there. Okay, So I hope you guys can see it. So there's like our stiffener. You can kind of see that in there, and all that light shining through will all be closed up once everything gets welded in. But these stiffeners help out a bunch, and there'll be some bolts run through there, and it'll look pretty good. It'll be really strong, so it's looking pretty cool. We'll go back down here. We're getting ready to make our stiffeners for this, and also do the bead rolling for this big panel right here. So it'd be pretty cool seeing all this close up and see this come together here. We've also got a little spot that's mashed out on us when we bent the lip over. You can kind of see it sticking out right here, and we'll just have to take a grinder and grind that smooth and straight there to get that all cleaned up. But the rest of it's looking really nice, and let's do some bead rolling, and then let's fit this piece back up in here, and then let's do some stiffener cutting. Let's get after it. Okay guys, there's that next panel. We already have it cut out. We've already put our nice little lip over here, and don't worry, you guys won't even see this when it's all mounted up. And then that stiffener will be kind of sitting right in here, and there's our bead roll. So I think it's going to look pretty cool. We'll take it over there to the bead roller and start making some stuff happen. Let's go. Come on in.
Yo,
What's going on, Jesse? You doing all right?
pretty good, my man, pretty good.
I hear you, brother. You ready for some chili?
You know it, dude.
Pause.
Looks like, yeah, go ahead and pause. Looks like you've been working. Okay, guys, so we just bead rolled out that panel. We kind of ran into a problem there. If you guys will notice, we had to switch wheel sides. This corner is so long, it actually ran out of space there when we hit our bead roller. So we had to flip it around, and then we had to put the wheels on the other side so we could get it to roll out what we wanted. But it's looking pretty sweet, and let's go over there and put it on the car and see what it's going to look like. All right, Jen, Carol, follow me on. Okay, guys, here we go. We're about to slap this up here and see what it's going to look like. Oh yeah, it's going to look good right there. We got a little bit more fitting to do, and we'll get this fitting done, and then we'll show it to you guys. Okay, cut. Okay guys, well, we're back under here again. Right now we are putting our stiffeners in to just stiffen up the floorboards. You guys can see it up here. What we've done is we've just got them tacked into place. We do not have them completely welded in yet. This is just to make sure we have all of our measurements right, to make everything is just spot on, so it's going to clear everything. We'll double check everything. We'll put the panels back on it, see what it looks like, and everything checks out. We'll move on to the next panel. We still got one more stiffener to put in right down here, and then that will wrap up this area right here. So we're getting really close and looking really good right in here, and we're starting to get to the point where we can start putting some welds on some stuff. Alright, cool. We're making one of the last panels for the driver's side. Woo! Let's get the bending. Okay guys, I just wanted to kind of show you guys how I was jigging up these little brace pieces. So what I figured out worked the best was if you take some flat bar, just some scrap pieces that you got, and clamp it to 2 points. This one I couldn't clamp, but I could get it on the bottom side of that bar, and it keeps everything on the same plane. Same thing kind of over here. Clamped it there and clamped it there, and that keeps all of the braces going, or so-called stiffeners, going the same direction and level with one another. So worked out good. That piece is tacked in. We're going to go back now all the panels will be in, and it is looking super cool right now. And to get everything kind of tightened up, we're going to get that panel up there, And then we're gonna go on the inside of the car and take a Sharpie mark and mark all these holes with a little Sharpie, and then start drilling some holes, and then we can really hold in the panels really nice and crisp with some nuts and bolts there. But we are rocking and rolling, guys. Oh snap, guys, care package just came in. One of my Christmas presents from my woman. She hooked me up. She did a really good job. They came in a little bit late. They got here, the shipping on them was running behind, but they got here and they are looking good. We're gonna get those on the go. Thank you, baby, for getting them for me. You can give me a little smile.
That's enough.
All right. She's a little camera shy, but those will replace these here. You can kind of see how rough a shape these are in, and they're actually cracked and broken in a few places, but that is super cool. So I'll show you guys the other one over here. It's in real bad shape. It's got some harsh dents in it and stuff, but check these things out. Super cool. Just another thing to add to the goat. I think Hannah just bought the last piece of chrome for the car. I think you just bought it, baby.
Cool.
But those will go on very soon. So had to give you guys just a little bit of a break there. Today is New Year's, and we just had our chili and stuff, and we had a good time. And then show you guys underneath the car what all we've been working on. It's really coming together. Excuse me. We got a lot of panels in, and this thing is looking really good. Our stiffeners are on the back side now of all the panels, so it's now time to start drilling some holes and tightening everything up. And you guys kind of see a gap right there. When we start tightening this up, it'll fix that gap right there. So super excited. We're gonna get that knocked out real quick, kind of get some of the holes drilled so you guys can start to see this thing tighten on down there. Super cool panels, looking very, very clean. Okay guys, y'all ready to see the inside, what that looks like? Let's come on in here, climb up on in the car. Check that out. Boom. Wait until all these stiffeners right in here have bolts in them, and how good all that's going to look. The bead rolls turned out really nice. I'll wipe off all these marks and stuff so you guys can really see it, but check it out. It's looking good. Panels are looking real nice and clean, and see over there where the pedals are, all that's looking really nice and clean. And we'll start drilling our holes here in a minute, and just want to show this to you before we start drilling holes. I think it's looking pretty cool. Rock and roll. Alrighty guys, let's sit down and talk for a minute. We've got a lot of stuff that's kind of going on and happening right now, and this week has been crazy. Actually, the past 2 weeks has been crazy. We've got a lot of things going on with the GTO. Number one, you guys have seen throughout the footage here, we're working on the floor pans finally. I've been talking about this for a long time, and it's really cool to finally be making some metal happen down there. So we've got a lot of parts that's going to be happening to this. Well, I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to do this in 2 to 3 segments. 3 at the most. It's definitely going to be 2. And I need some feedback from you guys. How would you like to see this? Do we want to wrap it up in 2 episodes? So in the next episode, it may be 2 to 3 weeks before you see the finished product, meaning all the welding's done on the floor pans, everything, all of it's in there. The other thing is the amount of welding that is going to happen in this little project here. There's a ton of it. So do you guys want to see a ton of split screens of just like some fast shortcuts of a bunch of welding, or do you just want to see the final product in the end, see some steps, and then we'll show the final product there at the end? If you want to see a bunch of welding, because there's so much of it, then we'll probably have to break it up into 3 segments, meaning you guys will kind of see everything put together in part 2, and then in part 3 you'll get to see all the final welding of everything, and we'll just have some fun with it. But it's all up to you guys on what you want to do there. So give me some feedback on that, and we'll go from there. Now, moving forward, what is coming up this year? we've got a ton of stuff happening in 2019. It's pretty exciting what all we got going on with the GTO. Tons of people are coming on board and helping. I mean, you guys have seen my dad coming out and helping, seen Jesse come out, and we've been having a ton of help from Blaine on just pointers on how we need to build this thing so this thing will be successful and run really good. So, New Year's plan. We got a ton of work left on it, and you know, what do we see happening here? What is the goals of how far we want to take this thing this upcoming year? So we're going to get this thing really close. When I mean really close, it is so close it's going to determine on how much money I've got to be able to start this thing up. So that's where we're going to be at with it this summer. So we got a couple of events that we're wanting to take it to, just as kind of to show you guys what all this thing's happening. So it's going to be cool. You guys are going to get to be involved. You're going to get to see it hands-on. And because I've had so many people that comes over and sees it, they're like, man, this thing is insane. We want to see it in person. So I'm finally going to let you guys see it. So we got two events. The first one's going to be at Bristol. That's going to be April 27th. Excuse me. And they're having a streetcar takeover there. And it's a pretty big YouTube event. There's tons of YouTubers that comes out and races their streetcar stuff. There's going to be a ton of Camaro stuff, ton of Ford stuff, ton of Pontiac stuff, just all kinds of everything that's going to be there. And it's kind of my crowd. I like a lot of guys that's going to go to this, and I'm wanting to meet some people and just kind of hang out, cook hamburgers, and you know, just meet people. Also, the other thing is, we got t-shirts coming here just in a couple of weeks. You guys have kind of seen some teasers of what all that's going to look like on Facebook and Instagram if you guys follow me on there. And it's going to be pretty cool. So we're going to be able to sell t-shirts. And definitely, the thing about the t-shirts is they're going to be $20 a piece. It's going to be a super cool design. You'll see this thing in the full metal form. So this will be the first edition of the t-shirts. So every t-shirt you buy helps go towards this bad boy. So definitely, if you can buy 5 or 6, buy 5 or 6 of them. It'll help me out a bunch. But the t-shirts will have my name on it. They'll have the name of the car on it, and it'll have the GTO on it. And very, very nice print. Mr. Bill Combs did an awesome job with it over at Shirtworks. So definitely a big thanks to Shirtworks on bringing those shirts to me. So they're doing an awesome job on that, working through the holidays on all that stuff. And you know, they stayed in contact. It was like, hey, how's this looking? How's that looking? And they've done a killer job. It's a all new design, and I think you guys are going to really like it. So stay tuned for that. That is coming. The other thing we got going on. So in the background, believe it or not, you know, we got these events coming up. How are we going to get the car there? I don't have a trailer. So how are we going to get it there? We went and looked at a couple of trailers, and before we get to them, one sold, and we got to see one, and it wasn't what we needed, and it's been crazy. The other thing is, you know, me and Blaine had been talking, me and my dad had been talking, some other friends been talking, you know, what is going to be a smart, cost-effective way to, when we go out to out-of-town events, we take this thing, and then once we get there, we can cruise around, ride around, have a good time. And we actually been looking at some top kicks, and if you're not sure what that is, it's kind of like an old school way of, you know, almost kind of like a ramp truck, but it's covered type thing. So you can pull your car into the back of it, or use a lift gate, or whatever you need to do, and it's all in one. It's your trailer and the truck all together, and the cost of these things are actually not too bad, considering if you don't have a truck already and you don't have a race car trailer already. So, you know, it's kind of like a all-in-one, and it'll help you out on some costs there. So we're kind of looking at that. Definitely in the market trying to figure out what we're going to do here. You know, I've even looked at cab over stuff. You know, something that we can use to camp in, something that we can use to, you know, haul to events, and it's got the power to make it there and back without killing it, you know. But so those are things we're looking at. So we've been going and looking at those. We had one that we were so close to getting. Man, it was awesome, but I lost out on it. So these things happen, and you just got to keep moving forward. So that being said, we're still looking in for a trailer, so I don't know how we're going to do that, or if we're going to have a truck, or if we're going to have to borrow one or rent one, or whatever we're going to have to do to get this thing to some of the events so you guys can see it. So that's one of the things that's going on. Let's see here what else we got going on. So the things we want done on the car for these events, and it's going to get kind of crazy here. you guys might see a boost in videos, or you might see it to where it's the videos are longer so you guys can see everything in there. And it just depends on how everything kind of works out here. We're getting kind of hectic and kind of crazy here on how much work we got to do and how much stuff is going on. So number one, the floor pans have got to get done, and we're very, very much on a good start there. We've got the driver's side almost knocked out. We're rolling really good on that. The passenger side should go up a little bit quicker because we don't have to do so much welding on it. It'll be removable panels, and we'll just use Zeus fasteners to pull the panels on and off there. So if we need to work on something, we don't have to push the floorboard out of it to be able to pick the transmission out if we need to. So we got that going on. Also the firewall. I want the firewall done before we go to an event. I want you guys to kind of see all the artwork I can do on that, and I think we can make something really cool and really stand out nice when the hood pops up, or if I take the front end off, you guys are like, man, the bead rolling looks really good. So I want that done. So firewall, floorboards, those are big things that we need to happen. And also we need to get the brake lines run on it. I've got all of the pedals are hooked up, the master cylinder's hooked up, the calipers are on it, the disc brakes is on it. You know, we just need to run the hoses to everything, and we'll be in good shape there. So we've got to get that done. So those are our major things there. And then the last thing, I'd like for the body to fit a little bit better. The front end comes on and off pretty smoothly. You guys have seen that. There's a couple little small areas I'm wanting to clean up to help it just kind of come off real nice and easy. And you know, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for what we want done for those events. Moving forward, you know, we're looking at the paint job on the car. We're looking at the powder coating on the chassis and stuff. So those are things that are coming up very soon. We're definitely going to go with the metal look. Now we're very, very torn on, you know, do we clean the metal up? The body is pretty close on it. There's a couple of dents in it in some areas that we could probably cover up with paint, and then the rest of the car be bare metal and have like some rivets, or just keep it bare metal and have it brushed look kind of thing. So I really like the bare metal look. It's going to have something along that. So it's either going to be wrapped or it's going to be metal that's been clear coated, something like that. So we're looking at both of those options there, what we want to do. Definitely give me your guys' feedback. Do you want it wrapped? Do you want it clear coated? You know, what do you guys think? I definitely want to hear your guys' opinion on it. And we might even set up a couple of rendered art sketches, you know, something I can hand draw up so you guys can see it at these events and you guys can vote on it. We might do something like that just as a fun conversation starter. What do you guys want to see it as? Do you want to see a wrap done on it? Do you guys want to see it clear coated, or do you want to see paint on it? And you know, we'll just kind of go from there and let you guys have some fun with it. But we're definitely excited what all's coming up here. I know I've talked more in this episode than I have in probably any of the episodes we've done, but this is a big episode. We had a lot of stuff going on at one time. I had to get the body mounts finished up. We had a serious problem there. It came about, but I had to overcome it and make it work. The rockers were flexing like crazy, and we had to completely change that design. Yes, those plates we had in there before worked okay, and it kept the body on it, but once we kind of seen what was going on there, got the car up in the air and was like, wait a minute, we got to redesign and make this easier to work with, because it was too complicated. It just didn't work, and sometimes that happens. You got to take a step back, fix the problem correctly, and make it functional and strong. And now it is. I mean, it works really nice. The body will just slip right off of it and be in good shape. But we're rocking and rolling here. I want to thank you guys so much for staying tuned, for subscribing to the channel. We're over 300 subs now, which is really cool. And let's get to 500. And the end goal is we need to get to 1,000. You know, that's whenever I can get monetized and we can move forward. If you would like to come on board with the car, if you'd like to do some sort of sponsorship or anything like that, definitely send me a message. We can work something out. I'm all about whatever I can do to help you, help promote your product, review it or use it, or however we need to do it. Let's make it happen. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing to the channel helps me out a ton. Sharing the videos helps out a ton. The more you guys feed into it, the more it helps the channel. So again, thank you guys so much. We're super excited about 2019. We got a ton of stuff coming, and until next time, you guys have a good one.